Okay, this is the end of the study guide. This is sample quiz 6. The answer to number 1 is D. The height of the corn stalk in inches over the first 8 weeks of the growth could be roughly modeled by the function h of t equals 2 times 1.6 to the t power, where t is in weeks. On which week of growth would the corn stalk grow to 21 inches? So I want to find out which week would match about 21. So your height is on your y-axis, so it looks like it is about 5 weeks, which is D. Number 2, your answer is C. At generic middle school, 8 students were sick with the flu on the first day. By the end of the first week, 12 students were sick. By the end of the second week, there were 18 students sick. The attendance clerk noticed that the number of students getting sick was growing exponentially with a growth factor of 1.5. A function model that describes the number that have gotten sick would be s of x equals 8 times 1.5x, where x is the number of weeks completed at school. Using the model, how many students would be expected to be sick at the end of the 6th week? So you just need to substitute a 6 in for your x. And when you do that, you're going to get approximately 91 students. Number 3, the answer is D. Okay, hopefully you've already read the equation, or read the problem. So here is the equation, and here are some points that are plotted. It says which would be the best description of the range of the function. We are talking about a population of chipmunks. So any real number would not be correct because that would include fractions, and you can't have part of a chipmunk. Any integers, that includes, real numbers also include negative numbers, which you can't have negative chipmunks. An integer, that would be negative numbers, so you can't have negative chipmunks. C says any whole number, okay, we're on to something here, a whole number greater than or equal to 0. Well, initially, there are 5 chipmunks. So any whole number greater than or equal to 5 would be your solution. So that is D. Number 4 is A. And you've read the problem, and it's asking for domain, and domain is T. T is represented by time, and the time is in minutes. You can have part of a minute. So your domain would be everything that is greater than 0. Number 5 is D. It says a person purchased an ounce of gold for $360 in January 2000. The value of the gold decreased by 15%. So you're going to use it asks what is the growth factor. Wait, it increased. All right, your growth model is y equals a times 1 plus r to the t power. The growth factor would be what's in that parentheses right there. If it's increasing, your growth factor has to be more than 1. So that rules out A and that rules out C. Your rate is 15%, which is 0.15. And that gives you, when you add those together, D. Your rate is 15%, but your growth factor is 1.15. Number 6 is B. Which below models the monetary value of an item, which is only that has a growth factor showing the item is increasing. For it to be increasing, your growth factor has to be greater than 1. The growth factor is what's in parentheses. That's the only one that's in parentheses that's greater than 1. Number 7 is D. It says a local farmer started with a chicken coop initially of 4. Okay, that's what you'd be started with. And then the next month there are 7. And we need to 7 chickens counting. All right, counting the that's counting the other 4. It says if the same exponential growth rate continues each month, which of the below functions would best model this population? Okay, so it went up from 4 to 7. To find that rate, you need to divide 7 by 4. Divide by the previous term. And when you divide 7 by 4, you get 1.75, which is your growth factor. A and B are linear. They're not even exponential, so those are not going to work. And C is only going up by 20 25%, and you can tell that it went up more than a quarter. All right, number 8, your answer is B. You purchased a home for $160,000 and it's depreciating, which means it's going down, so that would be a decay problem. So your problem is A times 1 minus R to some power, and we want to know the value after 8 years. Well, we started with $160,000, and your growth rate is 5%, which as a decimal is 0.05, and you want to know year 8, so you're going to take that to the 8th power, which gives you B.